Hey Naomi, this is Jessica Peterson. I spoke with Lauren earlier and she thought you would want to see this video. So I'm super excited to be able to do this video for you because today I'm going to go over just a few tips that you guys can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge difference for you guys. And I know this because I have used these exact same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies across the US, and it has made a significant difference. I'm talking not just more jobs, but actually reaching goals they didn't even know they would ever be able to reach. So I know that if you start applying these strategies right away, it can make a big difference for you too. So today I'm going to go over three things. We're going to talk about content, citations, and then backlinks. Okay, so your website, although it looks really nice and it's structured fairly decent, Google does not rank your website based on how it looks. It's not based on appearance. It is based on content, and content is key. So you need a lot of content throughout your website and your home page. Now, when I'm talking about content, this could be your images. So we want to make sure all of your images on your website are using your local keywords. So here, this image is branded, which might be appropriate for your team, but we want to make sure that we are going after local keywords, not just the generic keywords. Okay, so since you're serving San Diego, you're going to want San Diego water restoration, water damage restoration in San Diego, etc. So we want to make sure all of your images are optimized with those keywords, which is really going to help you with getting those indexed so that you can rank. Now, in addition to images or any videos that you might have, content is also this written content, okay? Because Google sends these little crawlers, which are like mini little robots, and it scans every single page on your website to try and learn all about you guys. So if your website doesn't have enough content, it doesn't really specifically talk about your jobs or who you service, it doesn't have any keyword strategy, they can't index you for keywords, and they can't send customers to you because they just still don't understand what you guys are about. So this home page is the most important page of your entire website. So it needs to be a summary of all of the services that you're offering, and it needs to be built around those local keywords. Those are the keywords people are actively searching every single day for your services. So this homepage needs a minimum of 1,500 words of content or more. And depending on what your competitors are doing, you're going to need more written content than they're doing. So if they have 1,500 words, you guys need to go after at least 1,800 keywords. I mean, not keywords, 1,800 words of content or more, all around that local keyword strategy, okay? Let's take a look at the top competitor for water damage in San Diego. And here we have Certified Restoration. Again, they have a decent site. They got tons of pages for all of their services and service areas. And you can see just on this homepage, they've got a ton of written content, and they're focusing on those local keywords. And because they have all of this content throughout their website, on their homepage, and they even have a ton of long form blogs, because of all this content and all those pages, they're able to get indexed for a ton of keywords, which is helping them drive traffic and converting traffic into jobs. Okay, so these guys are beatable, absolutely, but you just have to do better. So you have to do better. You have to have more pages, more written content, and then you'll support it with your backlink strategy. But before we get into that, when we're talking about content, it's not just the content on your website. That includes other content on the internet. So that's your socials and your Google business profile. So anybody, as we know, who does a search for a service is going to start in Google with like a keyword similar to water damage restoration San Diego. And you need your business to show up for that keyword when they search it. So there's 3 different positions generally in Google that your business can have good positioning in. And the first one is generally going to be ads, which would normally be up here. So that would be your cost per click ads and local service ads. And those can be really great options for you guys as long as your website and the whole foundation is dialed in really well. If not, doing those ads can be really costly to do that. So if your foundation isn't quite dialed in, then we should focus on some of these other strategies. So your Google business profile. This section here is a really important section because 30% of people go straight to this map pack here and won't go anywhere else. And so if you're not listed as one of these top 3 businesses in the map pack for your services and those keywords, you're leaving money on the table and you're sending each of those jobs to your competition. Now, in order to get in the top 3, there are several factors, but one of the most important factors is something called citations. And that is simply listing the name of the business, address, phone number, and website, and listing those in a bunch of directories. So directories are things like Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, and even your social media profiles are considered citations. So you need a ton of those citations spread out throughout the entire internet, and you need more than what your competitor is doing. Every single one of those citations is sending signals to Google that is telling them who you are, what your business is, what type of services you offer, and where you offer those services. So every single one of those citations is helping you. But if your Google business profile doesn't have any content or information about those services, and your website doesn't have the right content or information for those services, Google doesn't know to send customers to you for those services. So it's really, really important that you're working on those content and citation strategies. And if we come down here, this is the 3rd section, the most important section. This is called your organic section. And this is important because nearly 60 to 70% of all people skip everything else. They'll skip the ads, they'll skip the map pack, and they'll come right here. And so when your business is not listed here in this section for each of your services, you're losing out on nearly 60 to 70% of possible jobs. So in order to get here, this all starts with the foundation of your website. Having that proper content and keyword strategies so you can be indexed. And then supporting that with your SEO backlinks. So this is a program called Ahrefs, and it tells us how your website is performing. And as we can see here, you guys have a rating of a 0.4 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which means Google does not trust your website. And that is partially because of the content quality of your website. But even more so, it's because the power you're sending to your website. Just like every tool in your toolbox, just about everything requires power. And your website requires power too. And we do that with backlinks. So you need a ton of backlinks. You need more backlinks than your competitors are doing. But you need to understand that not all backlinks are created equal. This is a popularity contest. And so you only want to be going after those good quality, do follow backlinks that are most related to the services that you offer. They could be from other home service websites. It could be from vendors. And basically it's like taking one of your vendors, shouting you out and telling Google, hey, Quality Restoration is the best restoration company in San Diego. Send them customers. Okay, so that helps build that authority and trust in Google, which is then going to have Google help promote your website and help your keywords get that boost it needs so that people can actually find you. Okay, so you need to go out and get a ton of these backlinks. And because your website doesn't really have much actual content or keyword strategy, you haven't been indexed for any keywords, so you're not getting any traffic to your website. So you're missing out on tons of potential jobs every single month by not having your content and keyword strategy in place. So if we were to look here, just in San Diego, And just at water damage, with just this handful of keywords, we can see there's a ton of potential volume every month. That's over 1,000 people searching just this area and this service every single month with just those keywords. So you could imagine if you optimize your website with your content and keyword strategy for each service you offer and all of the locations you offer it in, how much potential volume you could have coming to your website every single month. And that would be huge when you're converting some of those into sales, even if that's 10%. You know, if you got 1,000 people coming to your website and 100 people are looking into you, and if you convert part of that, you know, you're talking 10, 20, 30 or more jobs extra per month by just having this in place, okay? If we look at your competitor, we can see here that they have a rating of a 34 with over 800 backlinks. But they only have 300 referring domains, and Google only credits 1 for 1. So that means they do have some spammy stuff here. So while we need more backlinks than our competition, we only want to go after the good quality ones and then do better. And because they have tons of pages, service area pages, and blogs, they've got over 2,700 keywords indexed. And so they're able to drive over 2,400 people to their website every single month. So now if you follow each of these strategies I have provided you today, you guys have an amazing opportunity to not just be more competitive, but even dominate in some of your service areas for your services. And you can absolutely, over time, beat certified restoration, but you just have to work on these strategies. If you want to take all these strategies and run and do it yourself, you are more than welcome. That would make my day. But Peterson SEO, we specialize in this, and we specialize in working with restoration companies just like you. So if you would like help implementing these strategies, we would love to help you with that. So if you have any questions or you'd like to get on our calendar, go ahead and reply to my email or give us a call, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.